Last week we talked about the fact that my vision for Sunday school is that it would be a collegial discussion of informed, not pooled ignorance, but informed, prepared participants. And I encourage you to encourage your people to read a handful of books. I wonder how that is going. I wonder how many people you have reading your books. One of the books that I didn't mention last week is the Screwtape Letters, and I'm inspired as I mention this to you that I've got a trip coming up, and I think I want to try to listen to this entire book again. It's a great book, Screwtape Letters, mythical letters from a senior demon to a demon in training. In an introduction to this book, he says, there are two equal and opposite errors into which our race can fall about the devils. This is Lewis himself talking to us. One is to disbelieve in their existence. The other is to believe and to feel an excessive and unhealthy interest in them. They themselves, the devils, are equally pleased by both errors and hail a materialist or a magician with the same delight. And now I want to skip to a different section of the book where he offers a possible answer to the question, why is demon possession? Why does demon possession seem so common in Jesus' day? They mention it in just kind of an offhanded way. There was a guy who was possessed by a demon, and this other man was possessed by a demon. And I'll tell you, that's not common in my world. As a missionary's kid, I'll tell you it's a little bit more common overseas. But even overseas, you don't hear about it with the frequency and the offhandedness that you read about it in scriptures. And Lewis offers a possible explanation of this. And once again, we have a master demon speaking to a demon in training. And he says, I wonder, you should ask me, whether it is essential to keep the patient ignorant of your own existence. The demons are debating whether or not they ought to keep us ignorant about them. That question, at least for the present phase of the struggle, has been answered for us by high command. That's the devil himself. Our policy for the moment is to conceal himself. And that does seem to be the devil's policy, to get people to disbelieve in him. Of course, this has not always been so. We are really faced with a crucial dilemma. When the humans disbelieve in our existence, we lose all the pleasure results of direct terrorism, and we make no magicians. On the other hand, when they believe in us, we cannot make them materialists and skeptics. Now, this is a great book that I would encourage you to read, encourage one of your people to read, and I told you there's a handful of other books. I'd encourage you to get one person in your group to read each one, and I wonder how that is going. Did you get some people to read? Are you struggling to get some people to read? And I want to talk to you just a little bit how to get an idea like this, an idea that we want the group to be a collegial discussion of informed participate, how to get that idea to spread through your group, and how to get any idea to spread through your group. As we close today, we're going to talk about the idea that we want to get the idea of everyone starting their day with their Bible on their lap to spread through your group. There's a classic description of this that shows a bell-shaped curve. And the big idea of the curve is that the presenter, the persuader, the influencer does not influence everyone. The persuader, the influencer, does not influence everyone. He only influences the innovators. And then the innovators influence the early adopters influence the early majority, and so forth. In other words, if you are thinking about, I think about this in my own life, the whole world, it seems, is going 4K. If you were to go buy a TV today, it would be that new 4K. That's 4,000 lines of resolution from top to bottom. And the whole world is going 4K. And as the whole world is going 4K, we finally got us a Blu-ray player. And that's about 1,000 lines of resolution. And so we're clearly not a early adopter in this regard. But when everybody else has adopted, then we don't listen to the people who are actually telling us the specs and so on. We listen to the fact that, well, everybody's doing it. Everybody's got 4K, so everybody's got Blu-ray, so we need to get Blu-ray. Well, the book that really defined this body of research was the book Diffusion of Innovation by Everett Rogers. And his early study was one of farmers adopting a particular kind of corn seed, a hybrid corn seed that was better in every way that corn seed could be better. It was more drought resistant, it was more disease resistant, it yielded better fruit, and they did lots of presentations and lots of talks, and they tried to persuade them, and out of one county where they studied this, they only got 2 farmers to adopt. The next year, 2 more. The next year, 3 more. The next year, 4 more. The next year, 5 more. And after 5 years, then it started to tip. And the same thing is true with you. You're going to try to persuade your people. You're going to try to persuade all of them. I want all of you to read